Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we take all of the big action guys from the 80s and the 90s and let's all just kind of party in the jungle and go save the girl? Because the girl is trapped and we gotta go save her. So, drugs and we're expendable. So come on, guys. Let's go be expendable.
The Expendables, released in 2010 and is directed by
Sylvester Stallone, who's also directed such films like Rocky 2, Rocky 3, hell, even Rocky 4. He even went out of his comfort zone and directed a film called Rocky Balboa.
And this film has an amazing action star cast list of Sylvester Stallone, of course, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Randy Couture, Terry Crews, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Eric Roberts, and Mickey Rourke. Oh, and the trailer and promotion for this movie, I remember, promoted stars like Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they're only in here to be like, hey, go do this thing, and that's it. But of course, it's the big Avengers of all of these action stars, so you gotta get them all together into one movie. Of course, they made several sequels that they had bigger parts in after this, so it all led down big, golden, glorious paths afterwards, I guess. Who the fuck knows? The Expendables are a small group of elite mercenaries who are guns for hire, and this time around the CIA is asking them to take out a dictator and drug cartel in Valina off the Gulf of Mexico. And because all of them are big action stars, there's a bunch of explosions, bullets flying past your head, and a lot of cheesy one-liners in one big, epic, action, glorious adventure. Yeah, I really don't have to tell you any specifics about anything in this movie because you know what this movie is. It's a bunch of action stars from the 80s and 90s. There is a bad guy who all he wants is money, so the action stars go and try to take out the bad guy and his forces, and things explode, people get shot, and it's Stallone, so really everyone survives. Even people that get shot 2 inches above the heart survive in the movie because they're action stars, and they need to come back for the sequel. I've only seen this movie and number 2. I haven't seen 3, and I know they're working on Expendables 4. Do any of, like, the big-time action stars die in this franchise? I don't think they do. I think Hemsworth kicks the bucket in the second one, but he's not an action star. That's the younger brother is the one. Is not his older brother. Anyway, moving on. This movie is one big giant gimmick. And I guess it doesn't need to be anything bigger or greater than that. When have we ever seen big time action stars team up in a movie of more than 2 people? We have never seen that before. If we had 2 big action stars teaming up, it would have been like, oh, well, one is going up against the other. One's the good guy, one's the bad guy. And they probably have a poster where both of them are facing off against each other. Demolition Man is just popping into my head. So here you take all of those personalities, you take all of that testosterone, you take all of those muscles, and you put it into one big thing, and that's all you need. You don't need to dive into the bad guys, why they're doing the bad things. They're just doing the bad things. They're selling coke, and that's a bad thing. There's a businessman who is selling the coke with the dictator, and that's a bad thing. Oh, and they kidnapped the girl. There has to be a damsel in distress in this movie for the guys with the muscles to come out to the Gulf of Mexico to save her. Because there is no other reason why these guys would leave their home in New Orleans and go out and save the day. Other than, oh, there's a girl who is taken hostage. Now, Sylvester Stallone, he's a really good director. A lot of the films, the vast variety of films that he's directed over the years, are actually some of the best things that I have seen. I think he did an amazing job with Rocky Balboa when that came out after so many years from the last Rocky movie. And his directorial style, it continues with this film. And I think it's actually very impressive for who this man is. There's some very interesting camera work here in a lot of the action scenes where knives are flying and people are kind of bending and jumping and twisting around corners to get the best angle to shoot. You can see the camera actually flip upside down as if you are the POV of the person with the gun taking out people and you're falling backwards. I think that's actually really cool. A lot of the CGI blood, though, not that impressive. And in terms of storytelling, there's a lot of things in here of, well, we're action stars, so let's do the action thing, even though that is the dumbest decision that you could possibly make. Let's still do it, because it's an explosion, it's cool, it's actiony. And you don't get really any growth or range from any of these action stars, because it's just stuff that we have seen before. Oh hey, you're getting older, and you're a little depressed that you're older. You can't swing or run as fast as you used to do. But you know what? You're still cool because you're an action star. Really, the best performance in this film is Mickey Rourke when he's talking about the story of the one person, the one woman who he could have saved when they were doing their old expendable stuff many years ago before he decided to become a tattoo artist. That whole monologue, really his whole character, is very intriguing, and he gives a tremendous, heartfelt, emotional performance, and yet he's in, like, 10 minutes of this movie. He is barely in this thing. The entire time I'm sitting there thinking, give me more Mickey Rourke, because he is wonderful. He's a former expendable who decides to give up that life and become a tattoo artist. I want to hear about this guy. Can we make a movie just about Mickey Rourke's character? No, we have to have all the guys one-upping each other and measuring their dicks and how they throw knives and stuff. Okay. Oh, let's talk about how short Jet Li is. Little shorty. And I'm Dolph Lundgren. I make bad decisions in this movie and kind of become villainous, but everything's nice, cheesy, happy in the end. And a lot of the action we get here is really nothing new. We've kind of seen all of these action scenes before. If you are a fan of any of these actors, you've probably seen some of these scenes in their films before, so it's nothing new here. I'm actually a little shocked at how much they allowed Steve Austin to kick Sylvester Stallone's ass in the movie. Like, I would think that Stallone would be like, no, Stallone is the best. His character is the best one here, so no one can hold up a candle to him, but Steve Austin's character is actually kicking his butt for the majority of the thing, and I was like, wow, that's actually very impressive. Cool, you're giving someone else the spotlight. Awesome. Really all that I was thinking about, though, watching this movie was the music video of the musical version of The Expendables. I don't know if any of you have watched this. It came out like a decade ago, but it's from a YouTube channel called Lego Lambs. It's the official YouTube channel of John and Al Kaplan. They do a bunch of musical renditions of all of these 80s action stars. There's Conan the Barbarian, and they have one for The Expendables. And these are like classic show tunes that you can't help but snap your finger to. I just kept thinking about that song the entire time I watched this movie. I would rather listen to that for an hour and a half than watch this movie for an hour and a half. Not that this movie was terrible in any way, shape, or form. It's fine. You don't get anything new. You don't get anything that's like, wow, you've come a long way in your acting ability over the many years that you've been in this business. It's just, hey, here's everyone, and they're doing what they do that you know them for. So there you go. If you have seen this movie, go over to Lego Lamb's channel on YouTube and watch The Expendables, the musical video. It's hilarious. It's wonderful. I give The Expendables, the musical, 5 out of 5 Blu-rays, but for The Expendables film, I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and the next one is a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my biggest supporters on this channel, actually a very recent donation from Autumn Blood. Thank you very much, Autumn, for this recommendation, because I've been meaning to watch this movie called Free Guy. I wanted to watch it last year, I just never got around to it. Don't know why, just slipped through the radar, but now you've actually donated to this channel, allowing me the opportunity to say, hey, I'm expediting this, I want to watch this movie, so I'm watching it. Free Die, it's coming up next. So guys, if you've seen The Expendables, what did you think about it? Or even better, what did you think about The Expendables, the musical from Lego Lambs about a decade ago on YouTube? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you on the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Free Guy. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.